let your body go. Hungry heart, it's not easy to start over. I've been there a couple of times, starting over. Know that when the night comes over you, rushes into you, you will shed that skin. Oh, it feels like a long ride uphill. Just stay still. Know that when the night comes over you, rushes into you, you will shed that skin. Oh, it feels like a long run uphill. Just stay still. Oh.
Are back, babies. It is so good to be here with you all. Welcome to episode 1 of Finding Solace, an Identico actual play and a Neon Trails special event. I am your game runner, the Caleb G. Tonight is the first of 4 special episodes that will provide some insight into the end of Neon Trails Season 1 and lead directly into Season 2. We have got a great cast of performers assembled for the game, and we're eager as hell to get started. So let's kick this thing off. First up, say hello to the main man who's running the boards, keeping us on the air, making those beautiful episode intros and our screen overlays for this show. It's Mallo.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I am very excited to see your reactions to this crew and what we've got coming in store for you over the next 4 episodes. So buckle in. Trust me. Buckle in.
Next up, someone you'll all remember from Chaos Inc. and that I am so glad to have back in the hot seat with us. It is Kaylee.
Hello, everyone. Please remember to keep your arms and legs inside the ride at all times.
Very important. Speaking of blasts from the past, throw your minds back to the game that started all this chaos. Remember how wild Angel City Stories was, and welcome back, Cass.
Hello, friends. Part-time gamer, full-time silly goose. Happy to be here.
And now let's say hello to a brand new member of our weird family. It's one of my most wonderful and most handsome friends. It's Leo.
Well, hello to all the friends, family, enemies, and lovers out there.
Covers all the bases. I love it. So inclusive. Good job. And finally, let's give a big Identico greeting to someone you've seen on a few special collabs with our friends from Thousand Faces Cosplay. It is the one, the only, Matt.
Hey everyone, I'm your favorite black guy on the internet. You know what? I'm your favorite black guy on the internet in the fucking future because I'm doing cyberpunk stuff. I'm excited, baby. Let's go.
And let's get some housekeeping out of the way. The next episode of Finding Solace is going to stream on August 20th, September 3rd, and September 24th, assuming internet gremlins do not interfere with our plans. This should take us right into the Season 2 premiere of Neon Trails on October 8th. Again, internet gremlins be appeased. As usual, we'll be live on twitch.tv/Identico at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Episode archives and other content is available over at youtube.com/Identico. Please like, subscribe, and give us some comments. Talk to us about what you're doing. You know, pretend it's a MySpace update. Remember MySpace? Just go in there and be like, buying a shirt. Met Jenny for lunch. Just throw it on there. We want to know what you're doing. We want that engagement. We're here for
Tell us
you.
who your 8 are.
Tell us your top 8.
We should be your number 1 though.
Obviously, if we're not number 1, we've got a problem. But please, we're here for you. Follow us on those socials. Look for us at Identico and at Humanoid Games. We're on whatever social media platforms you are using. Swing over to Play Identico, where you can read the basic core rules for free, find the newest module, The Dark of the Divine, pick up books, stickers, and other merch to support the show. If you are live with us right now, hi, hello, give us those channel points, because eventually these victims or performers, however you choose to refer to them, are probably going to be doing some rolling and need your help. Mallo, I think I already made a mistake tonight. Would you care to correct me and also throw out anything else that's going on?
He gets the producer note slid straight into his DMs. The beginning of season 2 of Neon Trails will be October 1st. So we're going to take you right up to the season finale of this miniseries, and then directly right into the season 2, because it all connects. It's synergies, to use the corporate words. Also, we have a brand new DICE partnership. We are waiting to get some of the information from them, some logos and things like that, so I can put it down below. But it is Morag's DICE. We'll put it in the chat, and we'll try to put it in the show notes and everything like that for you. They make some very beautiful handmade resin dice, which I will be rolling tonight and things like that. It didn't get me killed in the last lead up into this, so that's good, which is better than I could say for those POS dice that got me, at the end of season 1. So, plenty of time for them to, of course, screw me over later tonight. But if you would like some dice, we'll throw it in the chat. Very, very great dice maker from our friends up north in Canada. Canada.
North or South Canada?
Very North Canada.
Okay.
And with all that out of the way, I think we can get this show on the road.
Thanks for tuning in tonight, everybody. We'll see you in... Oh, wait. Hang on. Wrong show. My bad.
Wrong show. Towering monoliths of chrome and glass control the skyline, shaping it into their ideal environments to maximize consumption. They compete with each other to be the newest and most advanced, attempting to capture the most public attention. They demand everything from their subjects. In return, they provide a non-stop deluge of content, carefully catered to each individual viewer, based on constant observation and algorithmic prediction. From entertainment to news to corporate propaganda, every second of life here is owned by someone bigger and richer. This is Angel City. Beneath the opulence of the elite's world, where everything is catered, customized, and costly, the city stretches down into its past. Travel below massive holographic advertisements hundreds of meters long, dodge endless streams of corporate-owned luxury vehicles, squint through burning neon, and you'll find the city as it used to be. Here in the foundation are the bones of luxury, the guts of industry, the blood of those that suffer to keep the city operational. It has been long abandoned by those that used it as a stepping stone to reach the skies. This is the Fringe. Life here is hard, but honest. Well, as honest as it can be when everyone is watching their backs trying to avoid the latest knife headed their way. The grime of industry coats every surface. Exhausted people in the Fringe grind away in their lives, desperate for scraps, but they're quick to defend their people and property. Corporate activity is weaker here, but not their influence. Branding and sponsorship is everywhere. Very few citizens exist without being part of the corporate structure. Freedom can be found, but at a hefty price. One of those places that has been bought and paid for with blood and chaos is a haven for not only the Fringe's workers, but also those striving to simply survive. Cass, as the camera zooms down through the Fringe, tell us where we end up.
So we open on a squat white brick building, and it stands out from everything around it because there are no corporate sponsor badges on the building. And so it's kind of eye-catching from that perspective. And then you see emblazoned across the top of the building in kind of a neon semicircle sign says Catassie's Catoffee. And as you come up on the glass door and push it open, you hear standard coffee shop sounds and the typing of keyboards, because you notice that it's a cyber cafe. And behind the counter, taking orders from a moderately long line of customers, is Catassie. And just behind her appears to be a smaller than typical Rav, who is bent over and appears to be like goo gacha-ing the espresso machine and then like patting it on its head, which no one else seems to think that's weird, so we're just gonna go with it.
Can you tell us a little bit about Catassie, what she's looking like, what she's been doing?
Catassie is about 6 foot of personality with a big booming voice, but in a 4'11" size body. You almost don't notice that she's small just because she has such a commanding presence inside the catoffee shop. And it seems to be like her interactions with her regulars lead you to believe that she's had this shop up and operating for a while. She's asking about people's kids. She's recommending presents for people's spouses, that kind of thing. It's just kind of like a community hangout, and it's obvious that she's been building this community for a long time.
Cool. As it's pretty early in the morning, like a typical coffee shop cyber cafe. I don't know if the shop ever fully closes.
No, because Cookie the Rav doesn't really. She can kind of self-operate and self-automate. She loves to hang out in the coffee shop overnight. So
maybe as you're sitting there and some of your early morning regulars are coming in, I think maybe Cookie turns away from the espresso machine. Does Cookie normally just like display messages to you? Do they communicate to you with a voice box? What does Cookie? How does Cookie express themselves?
A faceplate with emojis and also a series of like beeping noises, and you can tell by the pitch of the beep whether she's upset or happy.
Okay. So I think in this moment, Cookie turns to you and gets your attention and is beeping in kind of a neutral way, but then gets a little bit sadder at the end and has a display showing like a little animated coffee cup bouncing along the screen, stopping, and then breaking in half, and then a sad crying face. And Cookie is referencing the espresso machine right now.
Is the espresso machine broken, Cookie?
They nod.
Okay, well, let's see if we can fix that. Can you take over with the customers and I will go check out the espresso machine?
Gives you 2 big thumbs up, and they move over. I think your regulars are very familiar with Cookie as an entity. And I feel like maybe Cookie doesn't always enjoy the regulars as much as they enjoy Cookie. But the line moves on as you start working. A little bit later, the morning goes on, and a message pops up on your glow.
I look and it says Declan, and it's just a bunch of the panic emojis, which from this particular regular generally means we're going to need a cool 32-ounce minimum.
And as you start preparing that, the camera kind of backtracks out of the coffee shop's window and fast travels up through the underbelly of the city, through the grime of the fringe, through all of the industry and operations and shipping and receiving and warehouses. And we find ourselves in corporate housing in not like the best, not the greatest, not the elite of the elite, but not the lowly, not the lowly office drones who just get by. Mav, tell us a little bit about Declan.
Well, as Declan walks by the mirror to get ready for work and everything, he's putting on his clothes. You see a caramel skinned, about 5'11", black man, who has a goatee and a very nice fade, very well cut haircut. He has a robotic, very nice. Despite where he's living, he has a very nice cybernetic arm, complete with company logos of Dynamic Design. It is red and black. I think Winter Soldier level of cybernetics. As you see him putting clothes on, you can see that there's been other work done. His spine has some cyberware done to it as well. Declan looks like he's been through hell, but put back together. He's been broken apart and put back together. He has a different color eye. His right eye is a beautiful brown, but the left eye is a little red tinted, but it looks like his normal color, but you see it kind of focus and refocus back in. He puts on this very suave turtleneck, form-fitting, of course. He puts on a black suit, and the suit is red and black with hexagon patterns at the back of the jacket with a Dynamic Design logo on the lapel. He takes his sidearm and puts it promptly on his hip. And this man, this monocle of a man, is just a fine specimen of what you would think when you see a company man.
Bought and paid for, owned by the corp. But, the corp's taking care of you, taking care of your family, giving you opportunities to do what you need to do. I think as Declan is getting dressed, kind of, suiting up, checking himself out, straightening the collar, one of the functions of your cyber gear, you're logging in, corporate is logging you in for the day. It's time to start. You don't get that choice. And a list of jobs starts running down your itinerary for the day. And that ever-present counter at the bottom right of your display is just reminding you how much the company owns you. Giving you a running reminder of utilities, data expenses, the running tabs of your latest cyber upgrade, family expenses, can't forget that kind of thing. But it is time to start the day. It's time to head off to work.
Before Declan leaves out of the apartment, he will look over at the calendar that is on the wall, and he sees that the next day there is circled, and it is a big day, and it says Pop Rock's birthday. Don't forget, in big letters, don't forget Pop Rock's birthday. And he's like, got it. I'm gonna do better. I'm doing better. Gonna remember. And grabs his keys. Grabs his ID badge and puts it on him, and grabs his bag and then walks out the door.
As you walk out, you are walking out of corporate housing. This is think that very stereotypical, like condo stacked on condo stacked on condo kind of tower. Definitely does not go as high as any of the actual corporate towers. You're still cowering in the shadow of your overlords, but you got a nice house. Unfortunately, you're locked into your contract for the next 10 years because of that house, but you got a nice house. Your hover car is right outside. The door slides open when you get into that proximity range from your chip. You don't even have to key in a destination. Your itinerary has already been loaded into the navigator, and it takes you through the city right to corporate headquarters. Because you have so many meetings and agenda items today, the car has decided to tint your windows and display some agenda items on screen while you are going to remind you of what's going on and what your responsibilities are. There's a little video over in what would be the passenger window, kind of playing corporate culture and corporate structure, reminding you what's important, why it's great to work here, what your priorities are as an employee, as a representation of the brand. Over on the kind of the driver's side passenger window, you've got kind of a picture-in-picture. Several video screens are displaying simultaneously. One of them is like the quarterly business review from the CEO. Another one is a monthly report from the CFO. Another one is the weekly stand-up from your supervisor. All of this information is just kind of being displayed while you are going. And what would be the windshield in front of you is reminding you, as soon as you get to the office, where you have to be, what room you have to be in, who you have to talk to, what your key points are, just so that you are adequately prepared for your day.
You know, I get tired. He sent that email out last week. That is the same fucking email. What the hell? Get your CC and Susan.
This is a reminder to bump it to the top of your inbox. It's a priority.
Yeah, it's I got it, Dave.
It's a bump up.
Dave.
Dave loves the bump up.
Dave's like cheating on his wife.
Oh,
but it's okay. It's all right.
It's that stupid one that starts with that's just the, hey, just bring it to the top of your inbox again. That you get, yeah.
And it's just a forward of a forward of a forward. Yeah.
Yeah, it might as well just be a giant middle finger in your inbox.
Correct. And then there's Susan, who replies all to every email. And I'm like, Susan,
come on, Susan.
Susan, stop! But it goes into another folder of like just Susan's bullshit. Goes into that, which just
swipe it over to Susan's folder.
Just God. And then there's Carl, who thinks he's funny, thinks he's an office clown, and all of his jokes are super dated. He steals all of his jokes from other people in the office, but it's okay. We have to laugh at his jokes all the time, and the arm kind of sinks up just a little bit.
He's got seniority. He's been there for so long. If you don't respect his seniority, then he's going to put in a vacation request right when he knows you put yours in, and since he's got seniority, his is going to go in. You gotta appease Carl.
That's fine. Yep, we gotta kiss Carl's ass.
So, the car stops. Door slides open. Corporate campus is always busy. There's never a time when people are not coming and going. There are always workers open around the clock. There's always something to be done. Based on your status, based on your role, there is a dedicated express elevator about 30 feet in front of you that you can just head right to. Your chip will let you right in. Off to the left, there are kind of the normal landing pads for the people who work at a little bit lower station than you, so their cars are not allowed to land where you are. Their entry point is much more that the series of double wide sliding doors that open that people are kind of cramming in, and there's a little bit of a traffic jam as everyone's trying to like shoulder their way up because they're a little bit late. But you can just kind of bypass that because of who you are and where you are with the company. The elevator zips you straight up and lets you off on the 137th floor. Standard day-to-day ops. You walk in, you've beaten the crowd, beaten the traffic. There are 3 coffee shops, 3 little coffee stands in front of you. One of them has a line about 20 people deep right now. And that's the average one. That's the one that every Joe Schmo can scan their chip at. There's another one that has much higher quality product, only available to managerial staff of like a 5th level and above, which based on your standing you are able to use. And then there is another one, the 3rd one, which is actually on like a little bit of a pedestal. There's some of those like floating glass steps, they're like in the wall, but there's no handrail. They're like that very stylistic, very modern, just the planks to walk on floating out in the air. It's not like that far above the ground, but you are not allowed to go up there. You don't have enough clearance. That's like where there's like one dude waiting, and he's got this like really fancy silver suit and tie, and he's already got his coffee, and he's just kind of leaning on the counter, just kind of swirling it. He's holding it from the bottom, not like from the side of the cup. He's holding it from the bottom. It's like a clear cup. You can see it's just a single shot of espresso, and he's just like got that very haughty, kind of looking down his nose at everybody as you walk in.
Oh, there's Dave. And he says in his head, "Hey, Dave, how are you doing? Hey, hope you're having a great day today. I'm just going to get some coffee and get to work. Hope you had your great vacation that you just got back on, I saw."
Dave gives you the 1-finger salute and eye wink. I apologize to our audience for any sort of triggers that I am sending you here. I'm very sorry. But this is life, baby cakes. This is what we do. So yeah, Dave gives you the wink and the nod. You get your coffee. Again, as you head down the hallway, think like the airport corridor with the moving walkway platforms. And this is like a wide hallway, so there's like 3 or 4 moving both directions because there's so many people coming and going. And again, a couple of them are entry level, the worker grunts. Everybody crams onto them. Everybody has access to them. You, based on your level, can scan yourself into the next one over. It's not that it's faster, there's just fewer people on it. So you're able to walk a little bit, pick up some of that momentum and speed, and head over to your office and get started for the day. So as you get settled, what kind of stuff do you do? How do you start your day?
I start, Declan starts his day by greeting everyone. Hey, Carly, how are you doing? Carly is like my work wife. Her name's Carly Cross. She's about a 5'4", pixie cut, real sweet girl. Like, she's always there making sure all my appointments are there, everything's right where it needs to be, of like pretty much ducking calls for me and all that stuff, or if the bosses are looking for me, I can fuck off and go somewhere.
She's not your secretary.
No, she's not my secretary.
You're just good. You're good work partners. You're good work buddies. Yeah.
She looked out for me. I look out for her. She does bring me food sometimes because sometimes Declan forgets to eat because he works so much. That's fine. We get in and we see in Declan's office a bunch of different trophies for like martial arts competitions, dance competitions, pictures of when Declan was younger, another calendar with Pop Rock's birthday circled for tomorrow. Do not forget. Sticky notes on the computer. We got a try system going on here. Do not forget. You do see a picture of Declan with another woman by the name of Rebecca and his daughter, Roxy, when she's about 3 years old. You do see pictures of Roxy. Rebecca is racially ambiguous with big curly hair. Very beautiful woman. And his daughter has the poofy Afro puff pigtails, missing teeth, of just him and her like missing a tooth, but a bike has been destroyed, and Rebecca's like, what the fuck? Looking at him like, what happened? And then as the pictures go, you start to kind of not see Declan in them. More that they were taken for Declan to have. Rebecca and him aren't in a lot of pictures together as it goes on. You do see on his desk a file that has divorce papers in it that have been signed. And they are going through a divorce due to his work-life balance of his job. Working for the company and being a company man has its tolls. And when Declan looks at the papers that he's already signed, he kind of looks at his hand, the robotic arm that he has, and is like, just fuck. Like, this cost me everything. Now, notating the reason why Declan looks like this and why they are getting divorced is because he flashes back to the incident that happened in his brain. You guys see it is a raid on his house. A job that he did for the company went south. He did it right, but the people that he went after didn't like that. And so they retaliated by going to Declan's house and trying to kill him and his family. Rebecca did not like that. He kept her safe and Roxy safe, but it cost him most of his body.
And as you are revisiting that moment of trauma, your glow rings. It's keyed into your desk. The holo display pops up. It's Rebecca.
Hey, Becca, what's going on?
I'm assuming you forgot.
Forgot what?
Everything for tomorrow. I see you're at work already. I'm sure you're not going to have time to go to the store.
No, I got everything. I got her gift.
Decorations, drinks, cake. The cake?
Yeah, yep. Oh, shit. I got the cake, yeah.
You know the video's on. I can see your face. Hi.
Yep. Yep.
Don't you turn that off on me, you asshole. Hey.
Listen, look, I'm here. I got the cake. She wanted that cake with the rabbit, right? Like,
Yes.
Yes. And what's his name? Otto, right? The Moonfire, Autogen Moonfire character. Yes.
Strawberry cake.
Strawberry cake.
Vanilla frosting.
Vanilla frosting.
Purple star sprinkles.
Yep. Got it. Yep. It'll be here tomorrow. It'll be there tomorrow. I'll have it. I'll have it.
All right. I have got to get her to dance class. I've got to get the house cleaned. I'm not asking much of you. Please. This means everything to her. Please.
I will, Becca. I will get it done. And I know this is her sixth birthday. I know that's a big ordeal and a big thing. So yeah, I got it.
I'm glad you know. I just need you to do it. Okay? Please. I can't handle another bad day with her. Please.
Yes, ma'am. I got you.
Okay.
All right.
And she hangs up.
Fuck. Oh God, cake! Oh no, I don't have this fucking cake. Cassie, look, where's the fucking number? There you go. And you know what? I'm not fucking putting the order in. Cassie, please make this shit for me, please. I fucked up bad. Need it today.
So you are sending off this emergency SOS message to someone you've known here and there, kind of casually, but you've been at their shop a little bit, Catassie. I feel like there's a smash cut right here, back in the coffee shop. I feel like the espresso machine is smoking and sparking a little bit. And through the haze, you see Cookie's screen, like exclamation point, and then starts playing Declan's glow message, like just on rapid fire repeat to you to make sure you see it.
I read it and I'm like, oh, okay. So I send Declan a message back and says, okay, tell me exactly what you need, because it sounds like this is really important for you to get right.
And
strawberry cake, cream cheese filling, sparkles, purple, big ass rabbit, and he fucks the order up. He fucks it up. He tries his best, but there's one thing off. He gets everything else right, but one fucking thing. That's it.
Okay, I got you. Can you be here I can have this done in like 4 hours.
I am already out the fucking door.
So, Catassie, you can get to work on this. With a bake shop, with a coffee shop, it's not that hard to put something together like this. Declan, as important as this is, those urgent action items are starting to ping your glow real hard. And you're starting to see those CCs to your supervisor that you haven't responded within the time limit. So now you're getting the, hey, call me Teams message kind of tone. You are able to balance this out. You are able to get to work. You are able to knock a couple items off real quick. You swing into a couple meetings. You make a couple appearances. Fire off a couple spreadsheets. Luckily, with it taking a couple hours to get the cake ready, you've got a little bit of a dead spot in your schedule for the afternoon. You can quickly block that off. As you moved your lunch down. You moved your lunch down a couple hours. They have to let you take a lunch. So you're able to move that down so that you can zip over. As we fast forward through your day a little bit, it's approaching lunch. You've been working nonstop. Your glow pings that it's about time to head over to the coffee shop and pick up the cake. You get in the car. Car zooms off. You've cleared most of the schedule, so your windows are actual windows right now, so you can see the city. You can see the sun high in the sky. It's hard to see the sun through all of the corporate towers, but you can see that light coming down. It glints off some of the higher executive floors. You see an express corporate transport catch the sun as it zips ahead of you and cuts in line. But as you descend deeper and deeper into the city, because Catassie's shop is in the fringe, which your boss always frowns on you going down there, but he can't stop you from doing it. Sometimes your work takes you down there. You've got the allowance to do it. You know, he just doesn't like it. Whenever you come back from the fringe in the next meeting, he's always pushed a little bit further back from his side of the table, just to remind you that he knows where you went, and he's not super happy with it, but, you know, it is what it is. So your car takes you down, kind of spiraling through the city. Previously, it's a hover car, so you're kind of zipping through the upper levels of the city. As you're coming down to the fringe, it comes down into more of a road vehicle and starts driving you through the guts of the city. Takes you through some unfortunate parts of town, some mess. You have to stop a couple times while some people kind of shamble out of the way. You definitely see a fight or two, but not your business. What does catch your eye, though, are some police lights. And traffic is being rerouted. Autopilot can handle it, no problem. Routes you around. But before it routes you on the detour, out of the corner of your eye, you catch police tape. You see some chalk outlines. You see body bags. And you see a figure, tall, real tall, strangely tall. And then your car turns a corner. The camera stays here at this intersection, though, where several bodies have already been picked up and taken to the morgue. Kaylee, what you doing?
I think the camera cuts in on the scene, trying to kind of keep the bodies to the lower level of the camera. But yeah, you see a very tall Asian woman. She's middle-aged, dressed in a gray trench coat. You can see she has a Angel City badge around her neck, hanging on a chain. Thigh holster with an old-looking revolver in it, and she's looking down at an empty cup in her hand, and then looks at the bodies and just kind of shrugs her shoulders, and turns to the patrol cop that all 18 of these people just decided to jump off the building in a mutual suicide pact. All at once.
I don't know. I just showed up when they called. They assigned me to it. That's what it looks like.
You don't think it's at all strange that they're all wearing the same sort of colors?
They went to the same thrift shop?
Every single one of them is missing a weapon?
Weapons are expensive.
These two have their hands cut off.
Sometimes you sell a hand to buy a sandwich for your family. The cyber parts hadn't come in yet. There's a delay at the shop. It's a shipping order. It's a shipping delay. That's normal.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just gonna give you that one because Lord knows you can't get anything from the corpse these days unless you pay in your own blood. So,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Anyway, did anyone see anything? Or were they here when you got here?
Yeah, they were all there in the splash zone. There was a couple parts up there.
Don't call it splash zone. Call it the impact area.
Sorry, didn't get the vocab update in the handbook. sorry. The impact zone had
Area.
Look, I'm trying. It's been 14 hours. I'm trying.
14 hours. Look, Rook. Come back to me when you... Empty, but it kind of bounces off his badge. And she goes over to look at a couple of the bodies. Viewing on a trid or anything like that, because there's drones flying around all over the place. Because 18 bodies at the base of a 10-story building is a little sensational at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of looky-loos. There's a lot of news drones flying around looking at things. You are able to kind of cordon off a little bit of the area, but certain news channels do have priority access.
Yeah.
So you recognize the stickers, you recognize the logos. You can't make them go away no matter what you do. You can't pull rank on those drones.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there are maybe a dozen other officers milling about, kind of leaning on the wall, chit-chatting. You're not sure right now if any of them saw it happen or just were responding to the call. But there's a handful then of regular folks looking on as well. Maybe 2 or 3 of them are talking directly to a uniformed officer, and you see that officer is like jotting some stuff down on their glow.
Can you repeat that, Caleb? My internet cut out first.
Yeah, so there are 2 or 3 average fringers talking to some uniform officers who you can see that they're taking a report on their glow.
Okay. Nobody's paying like undue attention. These are basically just your normal average looky-loos.
Yeah.
The crowd listening in to a couple of the people giving their depositions and such like that. And then she comes to one of the older people here at the scene. It's Sergeant 45 years. And he's 3 days from retirement at this point, but he's also said he's 3 days from retirement every year for the past 5 years that Akane's known him.
Yeah.
Sarge, I need to go get... It's definitely fishy. Obviously, it's gang related. It's not a suicide pact.
Sarge has worked with Akane for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And Akane is a fairly decorated detective.
Yeah, she'd probably be further along if she played the game, but yeah. She gets shit done. And that does tend to ruffle some feathers.
Sarge is that career cop. Doesn't always respect what Akane does and her mindset. So he does the thing where he turns to Akane as if he's talking to a person at his level and then looks up to your face, even though you've been working together for like 10 years. And your height is not a new thing. Very clearly a sign of some disrespect here. I mean, you're the detective. You're gonna do what you're gonna do. I'm just keeping the peace and working for the people.
And a bang-up job you do that. Also, right up Cooper, he obviously skipped the mandatory sensitivity training that they gave us last week. He's still calling it the splash zone. This will be his 4th time doing that.
Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper.
He's got he's got the most arrests in the quarter.
Well, he needs to... I don't care about his arrests. The newsies here, us refer to it as a splash zone. And what Akane doesn't notice is there is a drone, like, probably 3 feet behind and above her. Like... It is an impact area for victims of gravity-based... This was all in the mandatory training that they did last month. And he obviously didn't pay any attention.
Yeah, because he was out closing cases and finalizing arrests. But okay. Gotta take the classes. Gotta do the work. I'll go talk to him. All right. Anything else I can do to serve you?
And Akane uses her height to kind of lean over Sarge and reaches down into his car and yanks the last donut out of a box. Nope. And she walks off down the street, still nibbling on the donut.
So as she walks off, it's a normal crime scene. I mean, it's a weird case. It's a weird event, but you've seen a lot of stuff in the city. Your trained eye is scanning the crowd, checking things out. You see someone moving on the edge of the crowd. And what catches your eye is that they are not moving like a normal person moving around a crowd of people. They're kind of moving haphazardly. Your trained eye catches this as, is this an informant? Is this a pickpocket? Is something is off here? Just you read that body language.
Okay.
And it takes a split second, and then it clicks in. You know that person. You recognize them.
Okay.
One of your informants.
All right. To my car to have it kind of tail me as I tail this person. So if I need to take off suddenly, that, I don't have to come back 6 weeks. So, or 6 weeks, 6 blocks.
Yeah, so the car can...
I'm working on time travel. That's the whole thing.
That's like the side project, right?
Yeah, that's season...
Season 4.
And so the car can follow you over, and you head over to this individual. Leo, you suddenly see Detective Akane walking towards you.
Yeah, as I see this detective walking towards me, I immediately start to straighten up and look as inconspicuous as possible, even though anybody would be able to pick me out in the crowd. I got these long, flowy, dark pants, a dark denim material type shirt, a large belt buckle that just says Duke on it, and it flashes the letters.
What color is it flashing right now, please, Leo?
Oh, I feel like right now it's probably set on like rainbow mode,
Cool.
and so it just goes across like red to purple.
Cool.
But yeah, he also has a like a dark cowboy hat and cowboy boots. He's got his rat drone perched on his shoulder, and just, straightening up, trying to look a little bit more spiffy, more respectable for this officer of the law.
Straighten your collar, brush your coat off, find some crumbs somewhere. Yeah, so Akane, you see Duke, one of your informants who you've gotten some information from a couple times in the past.
Kind of approaching and just being a little nonchalant about it. Do you take off running or anything? You see me coming?
I think that there have been no crimes that day that I've done, so I don't see a reason to run.
I was say, you also know from experience that trying to run from Akane is pretty fruitless because she is very quick, probably due to her incredibly long legs. But she walks up and is kind of towering over you, but she's looking back at the building, kind of being nonchalant. Did you see the unfortunate incident?
No, I just got here. All I saw was the splash zone.
Impact area? It's an impact area.
I mean, there was a guy over there selling ponchos, so I think splash zone is pretty, the right words.
You can call it whatever you want, Duke. It doesn't matter. I just want to know, do you know anybody that saw anything? I mean, 18 bodies raining down from the sky, all of them wearing the same black and red. Sound like a gang,
Sounds like a song I know. It's Raining Men.
There were women there too.
Well, hallelujah.
So you didn't see nothing, and I should just let you go about your day. Is that it?
Yeah, I'm a law-abiding citizen.
I mean, there's some money in it for you, There's some souls given, allocated for people who are especially helpful.
Well, I mean, maybe I didn't see anything, but let me check my glow and see if I got any tips or anything for you.
All right, and she kind of looks around. I'm gonna mosey on down the street to the coffee shop. Look for me there if you find out anything.
Absolutely.
And Akane just turns and sticks her hands in her pockets and starts walking down the street. And the car's like following along like a faithful dog, just like at walking pace, going down the side of the road.
Duke will tip his hat to you, even if you've turned and don't see it. My lady.
All right, Duke. So you've just had this interaction. Akane and her car are headed off away, and they turn a corner. What do you do?
I think I'll send my rat drone Greg into this crime scene to try and scout it out and see if I do know anything about this maybe gang-related activity. And then I'd probably be hitting up my contacts on the glow, just any gang-related underworld, mob bosses, anything that somebody might know something to do with 18 dead bodies raining from the sky.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about Greg? What does Greg look like? I'm a big
yeah.
fan of Greg, by the way.
Yeah, so, well, first, before we get to what he looks like, Greg does stand for something. It stands for Glorious Rodent Exhibiting Guile, because he's a very sly, sneaky motherfucker. Greg is about the size of the smaller rats. He's not a big one. He gets in there and tries to sneak around and not be noticed. He's got this kind of like a dark paint that is supposed to act as sort of a camouflage, especially on the gritty streets down in the fringe.
Sure.
And he's got this... Mainly, he looks pretty robotic. He doesn't have any of that fancy flesh or anything. And
That's expensive.
yeah, it's expensive. Don't need it.
Okay. So, Greg usually rides on your shoulder or maybe one of your coat pockets.
Oh, absolutely. Probably coat pocket more often, shoulder when I'm standing still.
Sure. So Greg, I think, scrambles down and zips off into the night. And where you have the video from Greg feeding into your glow or into your cyber eye?
Feeding into my cyber eye.
Cool. So you've got this little ground eye view. Think every movie in the late 90s, early 2000s where there was a camera on a cockroach going into someone's like frat room grossness. It's that scene. And Greg is like zipping forward and dodging around some people, finds a little spot to sit, zips over to another little vantage point, eventually like scrambles up some exposed brick to a little windowsill where he can get a rat's eye view of the scene and is looking down through your cyber eye and control on your glow. You're able to zoom in on the remains. You see some faces. It's really too hard to tell what they are. Unfortunately, you don't recognize anybody. The matching outfits seems a little familiar to you, but you're not really super sure. But you have Greg capture all the video you can, save the file, and you tell him to swing on back, so he jumps down and skitters back and scrambles up your pants leg and jumps into your coat pocket, and you feel that little thud as he kind of pulls the jacket down on your shoulder on that side. You're able to send off a couple messages to random people in your network of contacts, couple dealers, couple fixers, couple runners. No one has immediately heard of anything. No one's got anything in the hot sheets, so to speak. So it's kind of a dry well right now, but you know how things work in the Fringe. You know that it's not really quick at times to get information. Sometimes people have to wake up. Sometimes people have to get sober. Sometimes people have to remember if it's their glow vibrating or the bad joint in their cyber leg acting up, or if it's, just something in their head that's making them feel funny. So it's hard to get a hold of people sometimes. So what do you do while you're waiting?
I'm kind of hesitant because I was about to be on my way to the coffee shop, but I don't have any information. So I think I'll start heading there, but I'm going to try and slink in and just go go unnoticed, go right on up to order, and hopefully slip out before anyone says anything.
Cool. So, as the Duke walks over to the shop, the camera again kind of zooms away to another part of the city. And we see slightly better housing, slightly, not the suburbs, you know, just not quite as bad as it is in the worst parts of the fringe. And we see kind of some townhouses, you know, those 3 or 4 or 5 houses in one big unit, and some random toys out in the patchy lawn, a couple cars parked here and there, and the camera takes us to a particular house. And in that house, we see a younger individual, feet kicked up on the table, glow in his hand, some very retro, because that's the style right now, actual headphones with a cable running to the glow. And this dude is just kind of, he's got that, he's not like head bopping to the music, he's kind of doing the jive along to the music. He's really into it. Not paying attention to the world. Hands are like clasped behind his head. Chair is tipped back a little bit. Feet are up on the table. He's got some nice kicks. He's got some pretty trendy, but maybe like last year's style he's wearing. And he's just zoning out. But someone walks in, Mallo.
Elijah, eat. You must get to school. I won't tell you again, damn it.
Elijah opens one eye, pulls one earphone off one ear. What?
Eat, you fool!
But I'm not hungry.
God damn it! You are going to be starving by lunchtime then if you do not do that. What is wrong with you?
I don't want this. I can get food at school.
I just re-upped your allowance at school.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can get something at school.
I know, but you're almost out already. You're constantly...
Because I'm hungry.
We have food here. We have food in the pantry.
I don't want this food. The school food tastes better. It's great. I love that stuff.
And you see a like 5'3", but very stout woman with very broad shoulders just kind of slink, like in defeat, because she's had this fight like every day for the past 2.5 weeks, and she knows she can't win at this point, and she just kind of like looks over at him one more time before he puts the headphones back on. It's like, I swear to God, do not make me call your father.
And at this point, he pushes the headphones all the way off, like down around his neck. It's like, oh yeah, every time, that's what you say, and it never happens. I do it. Call Dad right now. He's been gone for like 3 months. Call him.
Yes, he's on assignment. We will see him again soon.
You always say that, and he never comes back.
He will be coming back, I promise. Until then, just for the love of all things holy, please just eat something before you leave for school.
Okay. And he stands up and he's like, does that like, head up to the sky, shoulders back, kind of slouch. And he kind of slouches over to the table. He looks down. What is on the table? What meal is here for Elijah?
It would just be kind of like a banana and maybe like an English muffin type thing, or like just an amalgamation of shit that like you could just get quick from the store. Like,
so this was like a pantry scavenge breakfast kind of thing.
Pretty much, yeah. It's, you know, Samantha has not had a lot of time to go grocery shopping lately, so it's kind of whatever's just left over. Because between that and just being tired of working, like, you know, who's got time to make a meal? I mean, come on.
So he looks down at the plate, like kind of shoves a couple things around, picks up like half of the English muffin, sticks it in his mouth, rips off a chunk of it, drops the rest back, and through a full mouth. There, I ate something. I'll get something else from the benevolent vending machine at school. It's fine.
You are just as stubborn as your father is.
Maybe that's why he doesn't want to come back.
No, he's working, for God's sakes. Like, he's working. It's all that he's doing. It's okay. It's
always
okay.
always working. We can't go out. I can't go to movies. I gotta stay home. Dad's never here. The last time he was here, he like came home after I was asleep, woke me up, and then left before I had to wake up the next morning. Like, that's not fair.
One of these days, Elijah, you will understand why we do the things we do as parents. Until then, I just need you to trust me. We've moved 4 times in the past 5 years. Like, what do you expect? Things are dangerous in this city. I just want to keep you protected.
Fine. I'll go to school. Here, I'll take the banana. I'll put it in my bag. Okay?
Please don't try to use it as a gun again in your pocket. I really don't have time to go to the principal's office again. That was funny one time. Funny, haha, yes. Just don't do it again, please.
I mean, we'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best I can do.
Okay, let's get you off on the bus.
If we're supposed to be so low profile, maybe you should talk like everyone else.
I try. Have you heard your father's southern accent? It was terrible when he tried to do it.
Yeah, I know. He was watching all those stupid old movies and tried to copy him. I don't know what he was thinking.
I know. He tried to sound like Hades. It was the stupidest thing ever.
Now that's a cool dude.
Oh, no. He's very nice. Yes, he's a very good dude.
He's a good guy.
Very tall.
Maybe I'll just go over there instead of going to school.
No, you are not spending all day at Hades again. The last time you did that, you came home with some very cool knives. But still, that was not, you've got to go to school.
Fine. Okay.
And she starts to kind of like try to put his backpack on him and stuff like that, and like rush him out to the city bus.
No, that's not the style. No, you wear it in the front now.
Oh God!
One arm, only one arm.
Look,
God, you got to get out and do stuff, Mom. I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Jesus Christ, though.
And Elijah trots off to the end of the street, and there's a couple other kids hanging out, and he waves and hangs out, and you see them like kind of shoving each other and pushing each other around and joshing around and shenaniganizing. And then after a few minutes, a school bus pulls up and they climb on.
Okay. She can stop standing through the window at this point, making sure he got on the bus.
Yeah.
She'll go over to her glow and to like a temp pad kind of thing over there with it, and start just kind of checking on the day, seeing if there are jobs, what's going on, the latest kind of thing, piece with that, see if there's any messages for her, things like that.
Okay. So you scroll through the jobs, and you have kind of the message board flagged with some of your typical filters. So you see a couple jobs that are construction, heavy labor. There's a few that are demolition, and those pay a little bit more, but obviously a little bit more dangerous. You see a couple that are like shipping and receiving, unloading some of the merchant trains that have come across the wastes into the city. So some of those big, massive 32, 64 wheel semi-truck trains that just barrel across the desert and the Scar. Those have a little bit of hazard pay, but not as much as they did last month. So there's a handful of jobs you could take. And when you swing over to the message board, your inbox, I should say, you do see an unread message from someone you met maybe 6 months ago and have come to trust. Maybe not close friends, but they're definitely someone you have had less guarded conversations with than other people. And that's Catassie.
She immediately clicks on that, with overemphasis on the thumb going to it as fast as possible.
Clicking as hard as you can.
Yes. As if that will make it open faster.
So the message pops up, and Catassie tends to ramble a little bit at the beginning of her messages, kind of, giving you that random rundown for the day. When you go to look for a recipe and there's a couple pages of why that recipe is important and where that recipe came from. Sometimes Catassie's messages go that way.
Caleb, have you been spying on Cassie and I when we go on coffee dates in real life? Because that's us together.
I can neither really confirm nor deny my participation in these coffee dates.
It'd be like that. It really do. Yeah.
So you're used to this type of message, and you kind of scroll quickly through it. Like a couple keywords catch your eye, and you go back a little bit, and you're like, oh wow, I didn't know that happened. And then you keep scrolling down, and you get to the body of the message, and you had forwarded a message to Catassie that had some pretty heavy encryption on it. And Catassie was able to unlock that for you. And inside are a series of coordinates. And there's a map. And it seems to be a point way out in the wastes. Kind of middle of nowhere. Sort of pointed towards the Scar and Texas, but not quite all the way there.
The fuck is this? Is this what he wants us to get? It's in the middle of nowhere. There's no other. What is he thinking? That man is literally crazy walking around the desert right now. Maybe these are the wrong coordinates. That's got to be it. There's no way in hell he's gonna take us to the middle of nowhere. You know what? I'm just not even gonna reply. I'm just gonna go to Catassie's shop. She can help me walk through this. Besides, I need coffee.
All right. So you can grab a couple things, pack up, head out.
And there is no car, so she's just gonna take public transport the entire way there. So she'll take a light rail, to the bus, to the to the walking and everything like that. So.
And public transport's messy, dirty, cramped, close quarters, but you're used to it. That's kind of how you get around.
Mm-hmm.
You're making your way down to the coffee shop. The camera zips ahead of you, takes us into the coffee shop. Catassie, you have been working on Declan's cake. Cookie has been running the show for a little bit. Couple customers have complained. Cookie threatened to hit a couple others. A normal Tuesday. Not that big a deal. And you hear the bell ring, the door opens, and Declan, here you are.
Hey, Cass. Hey, Cookie. You are a genuine lifesaver. I thank you so much. Daughter's birthday is tomorrow, and I completely blanked on the cake. I got everything else, but the cake I thought I had. But you're like one of the best bakers here in town, so I was like, my homie Cass got me.
Yeah, this is actually a little known fact about me, but Catassie's short for catastrophe. So your last minute request, I got you. We do have a slight issue though. I've already found a workaround for it. So my bunny shaped cake pan, Cookie watched that old movie Cocktail last week, and she's been getting frighteningly inventive. And a customer asked her what she was doing, and she grabbed the cake pan, crumbled it into a ball, and threw it at their head. But, however, I still got you. We have cupcakes. I can make cupcakes in the shape of a bunny. Still meeting your strawberry and your cream cheese and your vanilla and your sprinkles. I still got you. It will just be cupcakes, which honestly, from a germ standpoint, is just an easier way to deal with 6-year-olds. So I feel like this is a good workaround. How do you feel about it?
Cass, I'll pay whatever you want me to pay. Just, do you want me to buy your new coffee maker? Like, you've been fighting with that thing for months now. I will buy you a new one. It's no problem. Like, just...
I mean, I'm good with bartering. If you want to slide a new espresso machine into Catassie's catoffee, you can walk out with this cake. Just let me know when the order will be here.
Credits are just right there. Just sit to you. There you go. I got a bonus a couple months ago. Here, take it. Just
while that interaction is happening, Detective, you have been waiting patiently as you can, and finally this weird rover raises a cup and displays your name spelled terribly wrong across their communication screen.
Yeah, I'll walk over and raise my hand, and
the rover hands it to you, gives you a big thumbs up.
I will return the rover's thumbs up and kind of step off to the side with this exchange that's going on. I'm going to take my coffee over to a booth near the window and, take the lid off of it, just kind of inhale the aroma. It's boiling hot, so got to let it cool off a little bit, but just kind of, Catassie's busy with somebody who apparently doesn't, plan well for their kids, so just let things happen, and hey, nobody's falling off a building here.
What was your coffee order, by the way?
It is a 24-ounce black coffee with a shot of espresso.
Cool. Good old red eye. So you're hanging out, and you said you're sitting by the window.
Oh yeah.
So you are kind of watching the fringe go by.
See my car pull up outside.
Is your car just sitting there waiting for you? Is it doing laps around the block?
I think it's parked across the street.
Parked across the street. Okay, cool. So Catassie and this individual who doesn't have great scheduling skills are just sitting around talking, kind of shooting the shit. He seems really upset, like really stressed out. Catassie's cool though, and you've been coming to this shop for a while, so you can tell she's like being really friendly and trying to help him even out and settle down kind of thing. And your coffee hasn't quite cooled off yet. And the door opens. You can't help but see the Duke walk in. But you can see that he's trying to not make it obvious that he's walking into the coffee shop. But you really can't understand how he's thinking that in his outfit with the belt that says The Duke and the rat on his shoulder.
The bell?
It's always puzzled you.
Yeah.
It also doesn't help that Catassie yells out, Duke! When he enters to just like call all of the attention.
And then you immediately switch back to the conversation with Declan. Like mid-sentence, you just stop and then switch right back.
Yeah, Duke just kind of like looks down, puts his hand over to the side of his face like, oh my God. Oh God. Well, at least she got my name right.
Sure your coffee will come back spelled D-O-O-K.
Oh no. I'll go up to the counter to order from Cookie, and as I'm ordering, check my glow to see a message.
Yeah.
And after I get that order put in, I'll make my way over to Akane.
Oh, what was your order, by the way?
So it was just a full straight 24 ounces of espresso.
Oh, so you're looking to get real jacked up and have an upset stomach later today.
No, I'm looking for breakfast.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, you can head over to the detective. They are sitting at kind of like a side table.
As I make my way up, I'll like grab a chair and flip it so that I'm sitting on it backwards, and go, I think I got something for you, boss.
As you approach, Akane doesn't seem to take notice. And when you say that, you can tell it's a reaction that is completely overdone for the amount of humor that she thinks it might get herself. She's like, "Oh, Duke, I didn't see you come in here."
I feel like that's a very practiced response from the detective.
Yeah, and it's almost in a monotone. Really, "Oh, Duke, I didn't see you there. I'm so surprised you're here."
Well, of course you didn't. No one sees me coming in.
Mm-hmm. So, and she like tries to sip her coffee. It's still too damn hot.
Oh yeah, it's boiling hot.
Yeah, it's like there are still bubbles.
Yeah.
Well, it's nothing too much, just a name. Have you heard of the Liminals?
I've heard about them. They're making some inroads. I mean, you think the fringe is rough. Where they're currently camped out is a little rougher.
Ooh.
But they want to move up.
So you think there's some kind of power play to move on up?
When isn't it?
Yeah, it's always a power play.
Akane takes the last piece of Sarge's donut and like holds it out for Greg.
Yeah, Greg will scurry off out of my pocket and then onto the table and grab the donut with his little hands. And even though he's a drone, can't eat, he still nibbles on it.
While the two of you are talking, again, the bell rings, the door opens. Sam, you have arrived at the coffee shop. You see Catassie speaking to clearly a corporate individual. You see a couple other people hanging around. You're not paranoid, but very careful eye with skills of self-preservation. Also notice a cop in the room and a handful of other regular folks. Maybe you've seen some, maybe not. Various levels of tiredness and shabbiness. A couple of them are asleep on a table, head down. The rover that makes a lot of the coffee is working behind the counter. A couple other folks, they're having like a very animated conversation in the back. They're not like yelling at each other, but a lot of big gestures, but they're kind of being quiet. Kind of a typical day for the shop, nothing out of the ordinary, except for this corporate guy you've never seen before.
So she'll put in her order, and then just sort of kind of start to sidle up closer to Catassie and this corporate guy to either A, save her from this conversation, or B, interject herself and get her conversation going.
Yeah, so Catassie, as you are sitting there talking to Declan, you're focused on him right now, but you always see people when they walk in the door, especially when they walk kind of into your personal space. It's Sam.
Oh, hi, Sam.
Good morning, love.
So I just prototyped a new type of cupcake this morning to fill in order, and I've got some spares. Do you want one?
Oh, I'm going to get fat being here. I don't care.
All bodies are good bodies, friend. Here you go.
As she like lifts it up and flexes her muscles at the same time. You know, who's very stacked. Gonna roll for how well she enjoys it.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's an 18. She stuffs that motherfucker like straight into her mouth, like full on one shot. Yeah, no fucking grace whatsoever. Just. Oh.
Catassie just looks at her and kind of cocks one eyebrow and says, Good?
Burger. I haven't eaten in 12 hours.
12 hours? My apologies. My name's Declan.
Oh.
And goes to use the robot arm.
She kind of does one of these things and kind of wipes on her shirt, and she goes, and her arms are cybernetically enhanced as well, and she goes, Samantha, good to meet you. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Sam, and I'm glad you enjoyed the cupcakes, because that's an even better review than I could have ever given. Oh, God, I'm so thankful for you, Cassie.
And one last note, Declan, I could not actually get hold of any cream cheese. It's not a supply I can get my hands on right now, so I had to go with vanilla frosting. Is that good?
Yeah, that's... Plays the glow back in his head from earlier. Oh, you know what? That's great, because that was the right ingredient. That was the one he messed up on.
Excellent. Okay, so I do you have any notes on when that espresso machine will be here?
You see Declan's eye kind of glow up and his hand move. By the end of the day, actually.
Oh, cool. That'll be really helpful. And I just kind of casually drape a large bar towel over the existing espresso machine. Like, that's just going to magic it.
Cookie was not part of that original deal that was being made, so she gets really upset that you're covering the machine while she's working. So she like picks it up and throws it on the ground with a question mark and an exclamation point on her display screen. And she's like shrugging at you like, what?
That's a very good point, Cookie. We should keep this one out until we get the replacement. However, you will need to make friends with a new espresso machine. I just want you to emotionally prepare yourself. Because, like, I didn't think rovers had emotions until Cookie, and now I have been disabused of that notion.
Cookie crosses her arms and stomps into the back room.
What was she dating? The espresso machine? Did I get rid of her boyfriend? What happened here?
It's complicated.
It's always complicated.
Cass, every time I've come in here, that espresso machine has never worked. I've never had an espresso ever at this joint.
Who hasn't been in a toxic relationship with an espresso machine, though? Truly, Mav. Declan, sorry.
While that conversation is happening over at the side table, Duke and Akane, you are sitting there. Akane, you are kind of puzzling over this piece of information you've been given. Since this is arguably a role-playing game, could you maybe give me a skill check with Underworld, please?
Wait, we need dice for this game?
I mean, every once in a while we do break them out for our streams.
Okay, I mean, this is a first for me, so, you know. Let's see, Underworld. I have that somewhere. Oh yeah, I'm good at the Underworld. Dirty 20.
Nice. You are replaying some old case files. You are going over a little bit of research you've done over the years. And to the extent of your knowledge, the liminals are less of a gang and almost more of like a church. You know that they do tend to live out in the middle of nowhere. Definitely bad places they choose to inhabit for some reason. Mm-hmm. There's been little cells here and there that pop up in the city, but it's never been like any kind of territory grab. It's never been like any kind of crime family or gang activity. It's just been like a church or a belief structure. So this is really strange to you. To continue this trend of dice rolling, Duke, could you maybe give me a perception check, please?
Oh, I would love to. 28.
Okay. So as you are sitting here, you see the detective is obviously scrolling some files. You're just kind of sitting. You did pick up your coffee at one point here. You're not really sure what the protocol is. She had said payment, but then she gave your robot a donut, so you're not sure if that was the payment, and you're wanting to ask about the money, but you got to be cool as you ask about the money. So you're like trying to find the right point in this silence between the two of you, because she's not paying attention to you at all at this point, about when you can bring this up. And then you notice out of the corner of your eye, there's normally crowds of people on the street. The Fringe is busy. There's always people walking. There's always people huddled up on the steps of a building. There's always someone camped on a corner trying to sell something. Or you know people who do criminal things. You see people doing criminal things and pickpocketing, or maybe moving borrowed goods. You know, you see this kind of stuff. You've got a weathered eye for that kind of thing. The street's empty. It is like shockingly empty. And since you're sitting by the window here, you can kind of casually look out, like a couple blocks are empty.
As I notice that, I'm just going to try and get Akane's attention. Just, Akane.
Yeah, hang on a second.
No.
So liminals it's weird.
No, it's
I don't get this. And she goes to take a sip of her coffee.
no.
That's finally cooled
it's
down.
deserted outside.
Akane, could you please give me a defense roll?
No. I mean, sure. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, you're going to do it either way. You can say whatever you want, but I know you're going to do it.
That's based off agility, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
It's been a while. That is a 13.
All right. As you pick up the coffee, there is a smash of glass, and the cup explodes in your hand. And a split second later, you hear the gunshot ring out. Catassie, Sam, Declan, you hear the pop, pop, pop of gunfire, and you realize, like, a second after the fact, the window has broken. It's like the sounds have all happened, and your brain is like replaying them and catching up real quick in real time. As suddenly you hear someone laughing loudly, kind of almost cackling outside the building, clearly being amplified through some sort of loudspeaker. And you hear this laugh go on, and then you hear Sam.
Oh, fuck.
Sam. What you doing?
She's gonna jump on the broken espresso machine.
Akane, you were sitting by the window.
Mm-hmm.
You've got some broken glass and splattered coffee all over you. You and Duke can both see that maybe 24 individuals have walked up in front of the coffee shop. And you see that they are all wearing like similar gang colors and accoutrement, and you recognize them, Akane, as the Ghost Lights. And as you are recognizing them, Catassie and Declan, both of your brains are like kicking into overdrive right now. Declan, you are realizing that there is some sort of aggressive threat happening. Catassie, your shop just got shot, and you've got a lot, but not a lot that people know about, of some equipment in this building that alerts you to people in your proximity. So your glow is firing off right now, telling you how many people and aggressors are standing in front of your shop, and what kind of guns they are carrying, and what type of explosive they are carrying. So your glow is like ping, 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 ping.
How many people does it tell me are out there?
About 24. Declan, If that's what I said before, what did I say before? Did I say about 2 dozen? Whatever I said before, I said again. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even hear myself talking most of the time. I got to wait for the playback on the podcast to take my notes. Declan, your car was parked a few blocks away and is also sending you some, like, threat alerts based on your proximity because its scanners are picking up some hot weapons in your area. And Duke, you also recognize this gang. They're real bad news. You know that they tend to be like real rough, like acquiring people who do not want to be acquired and bringing them to the people who've got the real deep pockets kind of thing. So, all of this is kind of happening at the same moment. And again, that voice comes out very loudly, echoing through whatever loudspeaker it's being projected to. It's time to come home, Sam. We can do this the easy way.
Sam's going to reach into her backpack and pull out her body armor and put it on. And then she's going to unfold her battle axe. And just kind of look at Catassie just from behind the thing. And she goes, I am so sorry about this, love. I promise all I wanted was coffee. But, yeah. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
I think that is a great place to end episode 1. Thank you all for being here in the chat. Thank you for listening. Thank you for starting this new adventure. Thank you, future audiences on the YouTubes and the podcasts. It is time to say goodbye to our wonderful cast and see where they might be on the internet and what they're doing, or just whatever they want to say. So let's start with Mallo.
I'm going to have to make the fight soundtrack for next episode, it looks like. You can follow me everywhere at the Mallo Man, at IDENTECO, and at Humanoid Games on the socials. We've got a lot of announcements coming up here soon, with a lot of things that are going to be coming out over the summer, not just with our performances, but with some game material as well. So stay tuned with that. Until then, join us here for this series, which is going to be a lot of fun. And I'll just say that Neon Trail Season 2 is going to have some really fun stuff with it. So hang tight while we get through the miniseries, because I promise you it's going to pay off.
Foreshadowing. I guess I should start planning what we're doing for Season 2.
You got that's future Caleb's problem.
That's future Caleb's problem. Kaylee.
Well, opposite this, you can find me over on the Rook and Rasp Twitch channel Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for Smuggler's Blues, a Star Wars actual play, which is a continuation of our old podcast, Redemption Podcast, which has just turned 9 years old at this point. Ooh. So, yeah, we've been around for a very, very, very long time. So, yeah, that's pretty much where you can find me. Otherwise, you cannot find me on X anymore. I am an XXer, and I did call it X because, Twitter's dead now. So I'm over on Threads, but, whatever. It's a thing.
Nah, fuck them. Keep calling it Twitter, because they like to dead name people and shit like that. So fuck it, we dead name them
That's
too.
Fair.
Go fuck yourself, Elon.
Yeah.
If we were looking for you on Threads, how would we find you?
At Anime Girl. Just like everywhere else.
And is there anything else you're doing that you might have a website about, or?
Oh, yeah. I am. Michael's not here for me to remember this. So, you can't show that on. Oh, that thing.
It holds dice, people. It's a dice holder.
That's not what I thought you were showing me, Mallo. I thought there was.
Well, what did you say?
Other website.
That's it.
Apparently,
that's Identical After
mail,
Dark.
So it's a whole thing. You can also find me as a guest on Tubular Teens with Titans, a Power Rangers inspired podcast where I'm playing the mother of one of the characters. So, and yeah, I do have a 3D printing company, but don't worry about the website. It sucks.
The link is down below and in the show notes. So go there and buy some cool shit.
And Cass.
You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at punapologeticpodcast, and you can also check out, if you need some more Cassie flavored fabulousness in your life, you can check out my podcast, which is Punapologetic Podcast, on Google, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, basically anywhere you can get a podcast. I'm making myself a nuisance.
Cool. Leo.
Yeah, if you want to find me, that's going to be pretty hard because my feed is the most Zen feed you'll probably ever see. But if you want to look at that Zen feed, you can find me at supposedly Leo on Blue Sky and Instagram. And since I don't have much to plug, I'll plug one of my favorite book series, the Locked Tomb series. So everyone go read that.
But not Kaylee. Kaylee is not allowed to read that series.
Oh, that series. I thought he said the Hawktua series. Like, whoa.
We can all read that
Tingle
series.
is on his game right now.
I
So.
wrote that one. Ooh.
And bring us home, Mav.
Hey everyone, I'm now your favorite black guy on the internet. You can find me here at Digital Clubhouse TV on Twitch where I play video games. Right now we're doing a burner through of this last season of Fortnite so I could get ready for the Marvel season next season, because I gotta finish out a battle pass because I pay for that shit. But outside of that, you can find me now here on Identico, and you can find me on Thousand Faces TTRPG, where you see me play as Otto Moonfire, Sweet Haragon Ranger, or Nine, the biggest, nicest from the streets Rakshashan in the City of the Crimson Tower, and Otto in the Wild Beyond. Also, I'm in some podcasts with those same wonderful people. Thousand Faces TTRPG of Ethan and Lauren. You can go and listen to the podcast at allmylinks.com. Go buff yourself. You can go to there and go to their page, and you can find us on every podcast platform if you miss us live. Ethan does a lot of good work with that shit too, so he doesn't like praise, but I'm gonna give him praise. Yeah.
And I am on your socials at the Caleb G. You can find me right here for all things Identico, here and there with Farm to Fable, and taking up a lot of space in the archives of the RPG Academy. That is it for today. We will see you in the cyber future.
May I make
What?
I
What?
forgot something,
What?
and so did you.
No. What?
Yeah.
Dang.
A week from Thursday, some tickets go on sale to a very important event.
That's true. You're right. A week from Thursday, tickets will go on sale for a Catacon happening in Dayton in early November, and I forget the dates.
Second weekend in November.
Second weekend in November, and they're going to go on sale at tabletop.events.
On the 15th of August.
On the 15th of August.
Check out the RPG Academy's Facebook group for more information.
Or
Thank you. That was
catacon.com. The event is November 8th through November 10th in Dayton, Ohio, the Dayton Convention Center, which we were there last year. So you should go see, because you can also see many members of Identico and things like that playing there, including, I believe, Michael will be back this year and stuff like that. So just go there. It's a good, fun time. Trust me. Trust me on this.
Yeah, I believe there. Caleb, will you be there this year? There may be a complete Chaos Incorporated, get together.
Reunion.
Reunion.
At the
That's the word.
karaoke?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes,
See,
there
this
will
is
definitely be karaoke.
See, this is what happens when all my show prep is 3 hours before the game. I forget things.
It's okay.
Anything
Take us
else
out.
I forgot, folks. Anything.
Take us out, Caleb.
All right. We will see you in the cyber future for another cyber game. Thank you so much. We love you. Take care of yourself. Do something nice for yourself. Take your meds, drink your water, have some snacks. touch some grass, go outside if it's not too stormy. Survive. Take care of yourself. We love you. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.
Mwah.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Bye.